G'day everyone. For those of you who I haven't met, my name is Matt. I am the winemaker and owner of Gundog Estate. And today I'm here to give you a bit of a vintage roundup. Now in April we're starting to blend up the first of our 2024 whites. So this kind of insight's pretty timely, I feel. So yes, for Gundog we work across three core areas of New South Wales, being the Hunter Valley, Hilltops and Canberra district. And I guess the Hunter's a pretty good spot to start as far as the vintage summary goes. So yeah, in a word, it was quick. It was the earliest start that I've experienced to a vintage. We started picking on the 5th of January. And we were pretty well done by the 3rd of February, so yeah, amazingly quick. The one thing that saved us from, I guess, total chaos in the winery, given the kind of three-week harvest, was the fact that yields were down. So a function of the kind of hot, dry growing season, and also a bit of a tricky flowering about the place. Some of our vineyards were down about 30%, so not ideal for growers. But having said that, the quality was really high across the board. We have some very exciting parcels of Semillon. We worked with a whole range of growers in different sites around the valley, and we benefit from the range of soils that our Semillon is grown over, and vine age, and all those unique terroirs that really make up this fabulous area. And having said that, we've actually just blended our 2024 The Chase Semillon. So for those of you familiar with this wine, this is a wine more classical in style in the Gundog range, a little like the Hunter's Semillon. And in it we're really seeking purity and precision. And I think to summarise the quality of the 2024 Semillon season in the Hunter Valley, it would be really those words. These are very pure wines, fantastically brilliant in terms of colour. Alcohols are sitting about 11%, so really kind of in that target range. Not seeing any green characters. Acidity is very natural. Given it was a compressed ripening season, I think the levels of malic acid are a little higher than usual, so that kind of green apple acidity, which means all of these young Semillons have a fabulous kind of natural crunch to them. So yeah, very excited over the next couple of months to start getting these wines to bottle. You'll see that this wine is still a little cloudy, so we keep our stems on yeast lees for a time, even these more classically styled wines. And then of course with our wild Semillon and the Indominus albus, we're fermenting on skins, wild yeast, etc. And they're kind of tucked away in barrel and tank. So yeah, there'll be a few more months yet too. But yeah, the red vintage off the back of the Semillons, the Shiraz were right behind. And again, quality was high. Same scenario with the yields. But yeah, I think more so with the reds, once you are working with those lower yields, quality can be quite exceptional, and that's what we've found. Slightly lighter in style than the 2023s, which we've also just started to blend. And I think an absolute knockout year really, the 24s. So yes, it was a hot year, and those kind of baseline warmer temperatures, particularly the lows creeping up, and we've seen all the climate records getting broken every month at the moment. A little bit scary, but having said that, we didn't really suffer any kind of heat wave events that really derailed the vineyards. So we were able to pick when we liked. There wasn't a huge amount of pressure from Mother Nature, which is always a nice thing. And in that way, I think 2024 shares more than a shade of characteristic and quality with the remarkable 2014 vintage. So I think they are very close in terms of style and quality. These elegant wines, yes, compressed ripening seasons, but beautifully developed and resolved wines. Yeah, and I guess a true testament to how the Hunter Valley does handle these compressed seasons. So yeah, obviously those wines are going to be, maturing away in barrel for some time yet. Now for our other regions, after the Hunter, we were into the Hilltops, and what a knockout vintage this turned out to be. There was a lot of pressure in the growing season, particularly late on with a couple of frost events. There were some vineyards we worked with that were affected by the frost, but by and large, most properties, that frost damage was constrained to certain parts of the block or the property, which meant we were able to harvest fruit from each of our growers. And down in Hilltops now, we're actually working with 4 different growers and vineyards. So the Freeman Vineyard, so Brian and Marcel, Will Snedden over at Hudson, we've got Roger Clark in Burrawa, and Moppity Vineyard as well, Jason Brown out there. So very lucky to work with such a talented bunch of growers there, forgive the pun. And what an amazing contrast of terroirs these vineyards are. And I've got to say, working with the 2024 vintage, and even just referencing Shiraz here, I think, I guess it confirms my belief that the Hilltops region is certainly one of the most exciting emerging wine regions of not just New South Wales, but all of Australia. I think that the poise and variety in the style, the spectrum of styles we see out of Hilltops, even working with a single variety like Shiraz, is really incredible. There is so much individual vineyard identity down there, particularly in a year like 2024. You know, lining up these Shiraz now, most are through Malo. You know, we can start to see those unique qualities, and they really are so distinct. Harvested within days of one another, they look as though they've come from entirely different regions. So yeah, very, very exciting. And coming off the back of a pretty strong 2023 as well. So great to have a couple of back-to-back vintages there. And then finally, Canberra District. So one of the vineyards we own down in Gundaroo, unfortunately was really damaged by Mother Nature in a couple of ways during the growing season. We had 2 frost events. The first one we kind of sailed through without too much trouble. The second was pretty devastating. And then on Christmas Day, while we were popping the corks on bottles of champagne and slurping down some oysters, Mother Nature delivered a fatal blow to the vineyard by way of a really devastating hailstorm. So we unfortunately lost our entire crop of Riesling from our vineyard. Fortunately, we do have some Riesling from the Hudson Vineyard in Hilltops to kind of fill the void for the year. But yeah, certainly disappointing to lose a whole season so cruelly in that way. But having said that, some of our other growers, particularly Long Rail Gully, got a fabulous crop of Shiraz off. Philip Williams out at the Wallaroo Vineyard in Hall delivered us some excellent Cabernet, which we use for our Gundog Rosé, and also a smaller crop of Shiraz that was actually from secondary buds. So it was really exciting to actually see some fruit following such a major frost event, which really did affect the Canberra district much more so than the Hilltops. So yeah, 2 years back to back now we've managed to get some really great fruit in from both Hilltops and Canberra. And the same goes for the Hunter. I mean, I mentioned we've actually just started blending our 2023 reds. Yeah, the 2023 Hunter Shiraz spinning in my glass here now. Just having a look at it today to see kind of how it's placed and you know, how it's all come together. These wines are immense from 2023, so I don't believe we've bottled Hunter Shiraz of this magnitude in terms of stature and scale really since 2018. So I think these are going to be a real hit with consumers. Big, juicy wines, kind of sitting 14.5% alcohol, so certainly on that upper end of where we see Hunter Shiraz, and I wouldn't like to see the alcohol levels climb any higher. But having said that, there's no sense of dried fruit characters or dead fruit. There's plenty of fresh fruit drive here. And it's really a theme shared across all 3 regions for these 2 vintages, 2023 and 2024. So yeah, obviously before we get to those 2024 reds, we're going to be seeing a lot of these 23s roll out over the next 12 months, and yeah, very excited to share them all with you, and look forward to your feedback as well. So yeah, I just got to say, after a run of so many tricky years, and I don't mean just in the vineyard, but with COVID, 2 years of COVID, and now the cost of living crisis, it really is a lovely thing to have really two really good vintages back under the belt, and starting to roll out those wines. It's very exciting. It's great. It's great not just for winemakers and our growers, but also for everyone involved. And I think we've got to celebrate these wins more so now than ever. It's these small victories that matter a lot these days. So yeah, very excited to get these wines out and share them with you all. So that's pretty well it from me. I've kind of clocked in at 10 minutes, I can see. I didn't want to go too far beyond there. So yeah, thanks for your time, everyone. I hope you all enjoy the fruits of our labours. The 2024 whites aren't too far away, nor are the 2023 reds. So stay tuned and look out for those. And I hope the rest of 2024 is very kind to you indeed. Thanks, everyone. See ya. Bye.